Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. I have Munyoro here a little bit to make sure that everything is so fantastic here. I'm just starting this kind of the video from wherever you are. Welcome back. I told you that I'm going to be having much of the video coming and showing on where the G Castle has just reached onto this kind of the panel. And the epic journey is here to make sure that everything is so fantastic here. And you are having still coughing here. Are you sick, man?
I'm sick.
How?
I'm coughing. I'm not breathing good.
You're not breathing good?
Yeah.
Exactly. Have you been examined with the doctor?
No.
So what are you looking for?
Health
first.
You know, my phone is my office. If I lose my phone, I have nothing.
You have nothing
to
gain.
For now, I have nothing.
Scramble for justice.
I'm just walking.
Helter skelter.
I don't know where to go, where to end
where to rest your head, and make sure that everything is coming. So
like
the real
sick.
effect,
I'm like feeling sick, but
guys,
I'm
to
not
the
sick.
real fact, I have told you, I was there again today, and the first question I was asked, where is Mayani? Because they told me that after Mayani is out of the prison, get him back to the DCI. So today I went there alone, making sure that I told them that Mayani is sick a little bit, getting some of 2-3 sicknesses here and getting some medication. Then they have gone to supervise, talk about the presidential. We have the president is coming to Korea, and because in one of the Korea West where we are, the president was hit with a shoe.
Yeah.
So right now the security was breached. So all the DCIs today, there were just some of them at the office there, but not the bigger in terms of the ranks. They were there to make sure that they could just help me with nothing. You understand? So when I went there, then I called him. I talked about, oh, you are there, so the president cannot be thrown a shoes again. So everything gonna be so awkward. So here in Kenya, everything is possible. Even the president, sometimes you can get that the people are just giving themselves a hectic time. They even beat the president with the shoes. Enough in the Korea land. People are just, so today they just went there and he was no longer in the office. And he asked me about you, and I told her about you are just out of the prison. And he told me that you're going to be coming tomorrow, so I can just check on him. But what I know is that my GoPro is already gone and gone forever. And what I can just talk about is the other party to go and take their GoPro, because that's what they wanted already. So the real effect of the time, we are just here. Much of the thing.
Me, if that phone goes, my salary have gone, you know, my pins have come.
Yeah, your pin is there. You have to link before 20 seconds. You have to link, and you know the pin expires always. The pin expires. It has, I think, a duration of 3 months. Then if you don't key in that kind of the pin, it will expire. So when it expires, it means that your channel will go dormant again. You will never be paid. So the real fact is already we are just getting to this kind of the brim point. We are having this kind of the scenarios. I think gonna be for some days only, and we're gonna be getting out of that kind of the disruption for us to get forward. But to the real fact, you don't worry. Tomorrow we're gonna be getting there. Then we'll report it out and what is really happening and how we're gonna be getting. So as they can give you, even if they don't want to give you a phone, they give you a line, a Safaricom line, so they can just link it and know that you have another phone. Where is it, man?
But the camera
is not so big a one for making sure that everything's so good. So don't worry about that one. Tomorrow we're gonna be getting there, and whatever can be coming, gonna be getting it live from that kind of the DCI officers to get to know what is really happening, because we understand we are being monitored like a safari rally. So everybody camera is just there to make sure that everything is just coming out. So keep it cool, keep it silent. We're gonna be making it happen. Less talk, much action. Tomorrow gonna be another day. So exactly, guys. Sometimes they're just intruding to have us to go around the east, west, and south here. But the good effect is we are still strong enough to make everything to come out. Brooklyn School, we are just here to make sure that we are representing the USA, and everything is so fantastic here. Everyone that's being tuned, locked in. Thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in. And we're going to be having this kind of the session performingly one-on-one, so as you can just check onto the G Castle here. It's around the noon time, so you can just know how the things are just running, because you can just know who is just in and what's really happening and why we have just reached in terms of the construction value and to this kind of the point. You have another gentleman here is looking like coming from the past. Are you 2026, man?
Maybe I'm in the future far away.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm very fantastic.
Everything is good. Are you the top mason?
the junior top mason.
So nowadays you have known how to plaster.
Very
Oh,
fast.
carifragistically good. That's a very awesome man.
Wow,
and you have a gentleman say, hey, today you have helmets here.
They really help.
Go help him. Go help me. He's gonna be coming back like something else. Yeah, back up. You're gonna be back up him a little bit here, so you can just get in with them, so you can just know what's really happening to the G Castle inside here. Guys, back to the center. And oh, I see it's just a lunchtime edition here, and everything is so fantastic. And we're gonna be getting a luncheon here a little bit, and it's a luncheon time. So that is what we want to have here and cherish together. So I see much of the people here. They're just making sure that everything is coming to outside here very correctly. And you can see the plaster is democratizing. Everything is so good here. Everything is just running. So we are just remaining with only the living room, which gonna be tomorrow. That's why I have just brought much of the cement here, so they can just be working for it tomorrow, and making sure that we're gonna be finishing it up, and we start the cobra. The cobra is the corner spaces, so they can just plaster them very well and make sure that everything is running to the fantastic mode here. And after that one, we're gonna be having electrification. I think tomorrow much of the pipings, talk about the electrical pipes, they're gonna be coming here, so as you can just make sure that we are placing the piping, and also waiting for the wires only to pass, as we're gonna be electrifying the house. Talk about the electrification of the house. And from electrification, we're gonna be having now the gypsum boards. It's gonna be coming after 2 weeks again, and we're gonna be having the gypsum boards that we're gonna be democratizing here, so as we can just start the gypsum board, the ceiling gypsum board that's gonna be taking place from this kind of the fantastic mode. As the gypsum gonna be continuing, gonna be having the painting, or talk about it's going to be called the scheming of the house, that we're going to be kicking off into this kind of the G Castle, to make sure that we are making things to come out very fantastic. That was the mood that we are ever looking for, so as you can just clear this kind of the space and have it going on and on and on. That is the best moment that we're going to be looking for, and making sure that everything is performed very gently and very fantastic here. So as we're just talking about, this is the movement we're ever making, and everybody's just getting much of the leisure here, and that is the mood that we are right now. Much of the people are going to be passing, talk about, oh, Gint, right now the G Castle doesn't have much of the people. Right now we are just concentrated inside. That's why we want to make sure that the inside is completely, and then we come outside here. So I think we are running out of sand, which is making us to talk about the next way. We have to finish inside first, then we go to the outside of the G Castle. What I'm going to be talking about is this is the only sand that's just remaining here, and it's just less than a track which is here to make sure that everything is coming out. It's because of right now it's a little bit much of the people going to be talking about going to be raining, but it's not raining in a way that we're going to be having much of the sand right now to democratize for the outside of the G Castle. But the little effect that we're going to be talking about is we are looking forward to have it. We're never going to be having like 2 trucks. They're going to be coming here for the sand, but it's still searching for it, because it's not easy right now. If you get it, it's so expensive. I told you that there's a time that one truck I bought it at $100 US, and the second one I bought it like $90 US, and the first ones that I started with, they were so rough that was so easy for somebody to get. Right now it's the plaster and for the tiling. So for you to get a very good sand that's going to be suitable for tiling and also the plaster, it's so expensive, and it's very very hard for you to get it from where they are just selling them outside there. So that is what is making us to go slowly in terms of the plaster of outside. I think inside you're going to be taking like 2 trucks, and outside you're going to be taking 2 trucks also. And I'm going to be checking about if I can just show that things are not coming out very fantastic, I can decide that I can just put the upper section from the windows upper, I can just put all of it tiled. and the downer area now gonna be painted, and that is maybe the mood I can just talk about. I'm gonna be working with it, because when I spot how the things are gonna be coming, I'll just check which is the neutral way. Somebody can just comment at the comment section, how do you check about it? Because we're gonna be having the upper section tiled, all of it round outside. Then from the window area, talk about wherever you can just see that kind of a corner window where it is. From there, that we have just placed a small lintel protruding out. It's going to be or a slab protruding out onto the window, or it's going to be called a splashing, an area that will just block much of the water to not splash onto the windows. So you can just have the small section down. You're going to be painted, so as you can just have this kind of the moment getting forward. That is the reason that I'm going to be talking about if we see that the sand is bringing some of the shenanigans east, west, and south. But I think much of the people always talk about that one, because when I relate to talk about how this kind of the way I'm talking about the tiling, there's a time that I saw onto the villa during that kind of the time, because every time it was fading up, and much of the birds were coming, like this kind of the tree, they're going to be sitting there, and they're going to be ejecting to the color coding, so it's going to be changing. So that's why I saw much of the Master KG talking about, oh, you know that, oh, I could, if it could be, somebody could have told me very early, I could have put all of the villa, the tiling, all of it, the tiles, because talked about I've spent more than 1 million about getting the colors. Talk about the emulsion, the waterproof emulsion paints. They're so costly, and you understand about it. And he was talking about I could, if somebody could have told him very early, he could just place the whole of the villa with what? With much of the tiles. So that's what I'm just critically thinking about, because I had that kind of the moment that the Master KG was ever talking about. So I want to make sure that I'm just getting to the proper channel. How do you see about it? Because we want to make sure that the G Castle is looking so fantastic and so good in terms of getting to the fastest way of survival value here. So they cannot have that kind of repetition. Maybe they have just painted already. They're going to be having some of the way talk about going to be having some of the moment of crazy moment again. Oh, if I could have known, it could be this way, it could be that way. So that's the mood that I always talk about. They're going to be just checking and know that this is the way you can just do it fantastically. So how do you check about it? We have the tiling of the upper section, then because much of the water will just be coming down, then it will hit where we have the splash water section is the slab is, and we're going to be making sure that we will not have much of the corrosion and the emulsion of this kind of the G Castle here. So that is the mode that I'm just thinking about. We're going to be making sure that we are ever tangling and make sure that everything is just coming to the brim point of that one. So we are just looking forward to make sure that everything is getting to the way that the G Castle is going to be the one of the modernest houses that are going to be coming out. You can just check it from this kind of the far end. It's looking so fantastic, and much of the people are going to be talking about, oh, Gintu, how is this kind of the fantastic and very gigantic a house that is coming out like something else here. We are making things to have a change, and the change is with us. And this is what is making much of the people to have that kind of the jealousy. Why is it that Gintu is making this way, is making this way? Much of the people predicted that much of the people are just still in Master KG. They could be the people who are having such kind of the big houses they're going to be constructing right now here. And what I can just tell you right now here, the cement that I've just brought right now are 10 cement, making it to 486 bags of cement I've just used up to date. So much of the people are going to be talking about, oh, this way, oh, this one. It's going to be small, but we are adding up every time. And that is what we are ever looking for, so as we can just make sure that everything is so fantastic in this kind of the modic way. So whenever you're just watching this kind of the video, thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in. We're going to be updating you and how we are just moving from one section to another, so as you can just make sure that the G Castle is looking so fantastic. And after everything, guys, I'm going to be talking about this kind of a small section right now here, so you can just learn and get it very spontaneous. I see much of the guys there, they're just in the luncheon time, and they're just having some of the meals there, so that they can just re-enjoy and enjoy themselves how to get forward and make sure that everything is covered so fantastic here. So I was talking about the good section that I want to be doing is to make sure that the G Castle is finished inside first. because we're never going to be finishing the plaster and all the cobras going to be formulated, the corners going to be placed here. I was talking about, I don't have the corner, talk about this kind of the people are going to be talking about. Oh, Gintu, can you put the frame, talk about the door frames. I talked about, no, I'm going to be using aluminum doors and aluminum outer windows, not the grills. I'm going to be using aluminum windows and aluminum doors inside the G Castle. Not only, I'm going to be checking about the master bedroom. I'm going to be having a door that's going to be getting me inside. I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be having it subsectionally, getting it to be a metal, so as you can just have security, a pattern developed there. Very fantastic. How do you check about that one whenever the G Castle going to be opened? Because much of the people are waiting for that kind of the moment that, oh, let's now wait. Because much of the people are waiting that, oh, let's see what Gintu going to be building. You understand that's kind of the critical time. Much of the people are talking about, oh, we are waiting for Gintu to build a very small and a tiny house. Maybe they thought about going to be a cube, maybe a cage. But we understand that we want to make sure that everything is just happening so fantastic. This is the moment that we have, and we're going to be making it to get forward. And much of the people, that's why they're going to be having some of the jealousy, because it's not easy for somebody to develop such kind of a big house and to the village this way. Even if it could be much of the people who are in maybe talk about you are having your own company and you are going to be having a public service guy, you're going to be talking about even this kind of the house could not come so fast, because I'm now getting to 4 months of the construction. So it has gone so quickly because much of the people spend years and years so they can just come to even a completion. Even talk about whenever we're going to be putting much of the windows, going to be taking you long for somebody to install windows. If you want to be talking about you're going to be installing something else, you're going to be taking years for you to install such kind of a thing you're going to be talking about. But to the real G, we are just making it to the favor of the living God, and we are going to be making it as we're going to be getting forward to this kind of the fantastic mode. And I'm going to be placing this kind of a way forward, because much of the people I'm seeing, they're going to be having some of the shenanigans outside there talking about A, B, C, D, but I'm not interested in this kind of the reactions and the interventions of the inter-reaction that they're going to be coming to their own mouth and talk about, oh, Gintu, why are you no longer now reacting to this kind of the people and this and that and this. Everybody has his own. I talked about we are ever changing from one position to another, and that's why we are ever changing from one reason and from one catapuming area to another cherishable way, and making sure they're going to be getting to much of the people want to get, oh, Gintu going to be in trouble this way, going to be in trouble. They're going to be talking about, oh, we told you, we got this. But the real effect of the time, we are getting to another level of making things to have a hope and a fantastic mode ever possible. This is what we're just looking for, and we're going to be making it to come out very fantastic. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Much of the things are going to be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. I'm going to be taking a small look here so I can just see whatever is just popping out from this kind of the feel of the G Castle, as we are orienting you to make sure that everything is off on time. For you supporting from wherever you're coming from at the GTM time, and morning, good evening, and wherever you're just watching this kind of the video from, I respect and watch. Keep it walked, keep it in, and keep it in tuned, because this is the position you are, and this is the position for us to get forward, so as we can just move in a fantastic way possible for us to get where we want to get to. So I want to be repeating myself into this kind of the sarcasm that has already got us, and by faultly has got us in a reaction that we don't want us ourselves to withstand or be uptaken to this kind of the reaction. Much of the people are just talking about, oh, Gintu, you understand that, oh, you're going to be giving us much of the things that are happening unto the village. It's going to be coming, because still we are just available. And I always talk about sometimes you will never, there are much of the people, and that's why much of the people don't determine, are not determined about, oh, am I going to look for another section, are not looking for the best way for them to uplift much of the people. Gintu is revising. Gintu is getting forward. We'll never be talking about the fish farming again, and we are moving from one section to another. That is the movement that we are doing, so as we can just get to where we are to be placed and make sure that everything is coming out very fantastic. And for the people who are just always talking about, Gintu will just stuck to that kind of the position. We have to make a change. Everybody develop. That's why our bodies develop. That's why whenever we are growing up, we were told that we're going to be having adolescent stage. That's why it's going to be adolescent stage. Now we get to adulthood. Now we are getting to adulthood. We are just getting to the front yard. And that's where we are just heading to and making sure they're going to be getting everything so fantastic. And we're never going to be getting to the USA. Going to be landing there very, very, coming very, very soon, a little bit. And much of the people going to be doing that things going to be changing outside here. So I want to make sure that I'm just having the G Castleville completely. And we're going to be waiting for the only furniture that will just make me to hesitate a little bit. Maybe if it could come to that kind of the particular time, I'll make sure that I'm democratizing to have it finished to the brim point of today. So this is what is just moving here and getting to the fantastic mode ever possible. Keep it watching, because the way we are ever watching this kind of the video, going to be supporting us to get to the front ward and the front yard area. And this is what is making us to have this kind of the sarcasm and the tribal, and also talk about the accusations and allegations that are getting to us because of the cherishable way we are ever moving, because they have just seen a step is ahead. And that's why we are having much of the people right now have just stopped in terms of the constructions, this and there. These shenanigans, east, west, south, telenovela here and there, hula balloons over east, west, and south. But the real effect is Gintu is continuing to make sure that the J Castle is coming out every time, every way, and we have to make it coming on. And whenever I'm just speaking to this kind of the phone, I always imagine whenever I was just in this kind of the video and talking about, please give me you are something here so I can just give me your stand. I was asking some of the boy called AZ, and there's another boy who was called Akengor. I can just remember them telling me that, Gintu, you understand what? Let me even catch for you a comment so they can just make sure that you are rapping here and there. Gintu always coming out very fantastic. Keep it tuned. Let me get to the lunch and a little bit, and I'm going to be coming to your update and episode going to be flowing back to this kind of the position. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Now I see much of the sun going to be sunning here. The solar is solaring and everything is so fantastic here. So keep it tuned. Let's get to the brim point of now and getting to the luncheon right now. And get to know, is Mr. Sigano there? And everything is so fantastic. And to the G Castle here, we can just see the plaster is going on good, and to this kind of the area. Talk about the kitchen premises. It's already plastered, and we have just done with the kitchen area, and now we're going to be having the store here a little bit having some of the plaster. So when we go back to the other section, talk about the bedroom section, it's already plastered very much, very fantastic, and all the bedrooms are already plastered. The only thing that they're going to be coming back is this kind of the sections. Talk about like this kind of an area. It's not yet plastered. It's because of a little bit of where the door will be. It's called here they call them the corner tips, so they can just have much of the things to go on and on and on. So already they have just democratized to make sure that they're going to be mixing it again with the second value way to make sure that they're going to be finishing the area they have been placed for us, for them to finish here. So I have so many gentlemen here. Wow. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Everything is good? Yeah, I have recognized your presence. So the bedroom is now getting over and over. This is the master bedroom. And the only thing they're called Cobra. They're going to be fixing this kind of the stuff here so they can just be streamlined. It's called the Cobra section. And everything going to be so fantastic. As you can just see, the guys are just doing into this kind of an area. So right now, the other area is now going to be over to from the far end of the bedroom here, and everything is so good. So we are just remained with a little bit of it here to make sure that it's the sitting room. It's just remaining mostly, and only sitting room and this kind of an area. It's just called a small area, a small cube here. That's the only remaining to make sure that everything is getting to the fantastic mode here. So what's really coming out is we are popping out to have much of the dignity and dignifying the moment that we have just been given to this kind of an area, and talking about this is the best way of getting forward. So as I can just talk about, we are representing and making everything to come to you live, which is one-on-one to this kind of an area. So I'm going to be having a little walk here so they can just understand what's really coming out and what's really popping out right now. And everything is so fantastic here. So everyone has been tuned. We are just moving, and every day we are just making a move. And the move we are just making is to make sure that we are having the G Castle getting forward, which is the best practice. I've seen much much of the people right now, they're just dictating, they're just talking much of the things which are not coming to the real verdict point of right today, because I'm hearing much of the people talking about, oh, Gintu, you understand, oh, I don't know what. The real fact is there's nothing going to be coming to have us intimidated as far as we are getting to the frontier and getting the aim is to go forward. And we might have much of the people talking about some other things, some 2-3 things here. I'm not the one to make sure that I'm defaulting much of the things not to come on. Like I've just had much of the people talking about, oh, Gintu, I don't know what and what and what. Can you take some actions? I don't know what. To the real effect of the time is, let me tell you how it is. Because much of the people should not just bring their own shenanigans. They're talking about Gintu is this way, Gintu is that way, Gintu is those ways. Let me tell you how it is. And I've heard much of the people talking about, oh, Gintu, nowadays you are so cool about informing us how the things are going to be. So the good thing is we are still at the position. The thing is I've not got the GoPro. That's why you see much of the videos are coming not muchly, because sometimes you can have a blackout, sometimes you have this and this. We have some of the little problems here. So the good thing is handling much of the phone here and there. This kind of a stand is just coming from Mayani one-on-one here. So to the real effect of the time is everything is so fantastic as we just go on with our orientation work that is still ongoing. That is the key value that we are ever looking for. Not that, oh, because of this way, and much of them are talking about, oh, Gintu, now not for telling us more about this kind of the demagogues and the crazy family. What I want to take you is I'm just waiting for this kind of the point to come, because they are just targeting Gintu to talk about, oh, this way. Then they go and talk about, oh, Gintu is that way, this way. I understand how the things will be coming, and much of the people are waiting for that kind of the moment, talk about, oh, Gintu is this kind of the moment, this is the kind of the moment. But the real fantastic mode is we want to go forward despite the challenges that we're going to be having. I don't have much of the say talking about this kind of the demagogues, because they have just put us in a very crazy way, talking about, oh, from this one to this one, from this one, and even they have already bought much of the people who ever shared the moment with, so they can just be used as demagogues also, and just broadcast much of the things to the internet, talk about, oh, these are just the talk about the awkward demagogues of the day, and they were talking about, oh, Gintu this way, oh, Mayani that way, and they're going to be talking about, oh, this cannot be not handled the way they think. So even today I've just went there, and the things that they're just talking about is this kind of the people that have just pressurized them, talking about, oh, this kind of the people, if they're going to be coming, oh, don't give them whatever belongs to them, oh, do this, do that, do those. That's the only thing that they can just do perfectly. And the real fact of the time, we are still talking about, we have those kind of the hopes that even like Mayani can just get something for himself, because he had monetized a channel and already was having a monetization pin, talk about the AdSense pin, had already arrived for him. This kind of the man who could just be earning something good into the pocket. But to the due fact of much of the shenanigans and telenovela, he's gonna not have something by now, but we're gonna be struggling to make it happen. And I know we're gonna be making it happen, because tomorrow we're gonna be having an invitation, an appointment there already very early in the morning around 10 a.m. So they can just have this kind of the people talking and understanding what's really going to be coming out at which kind of the rate. Because I was told that this tomorrow going to be a good day, because they have just gone for a presidential escort team, so they can just make sure that everything is handled in terms of security panel there. As today, I've got much of the people are just talking about their own things coming out to this kind of the not effective way. Because I heard much of the people talking about, oh, Gintu, you know, this kind of the boy around the village here talk about Master KG is talking about, oh, you know, the fish had been done this, the fish had been done this one. So the only thing is that they want Gintu now to come out and tell them the criteria of making sure that the fish will be taken care of. I understand that is what they want, but to the real fact of the time, I'm the one who was the engineer. I am the one who constructed. I know everything about it, and there's nothing can ever hinder me, because I know even the leakages. I know everything that belongs to that kind of the area. But I don't want absolute way, because I just got out of that kind of the trouble area, because it has no peace for you, for somebody to can just talk about it this way, because they related themselves that, oh, this is how they should go forward, despite knowing that there are other people who just belong to that kind of an area. And the biggest scam is they're going to be treating you in a way that they want to gain on themselves. That is what they're just thinking about they're going to be regaining, but not to gain to. Because I understand myself, I understand my protocols. That's why even when I was into that kind of the position, I was the one handling everything to make sure that I'm aligning everybody onto his own subsection so they can just deal with what has to come in front of you. That is what I am, and that's what I'm ever capable of. And because of this kind of the 2-3 shenanigans, I can just remember there's a time he just called me and told me that, oh, there's a cloth that I just bought for you, so can you return that cloth? And it was just insanity and stupidity of the highest order, because some of the people think about ABCD, this one, this. So what it can be coming out is I don't have this kind of a way talking about, oh, this person can just control this kind of area, can control this kind of the people. I'm not interested with the demagogues. I'm not interested with the village boys right now, like this kind of the Master KG, because they think about they're going to be handling everything. They're going to be attacking this kind of the person. Right now, they're just having a normality. Talking about why this kind of the people having this kind of the normal way are they just living. We thought about it could have summarized them completely, not having everything to continue. But who is God? God has every kind of the assessment God to make sure that everybody is moving forward despite the challenges we're going to be having. That is what we are. And right now we are doing our own things and our own courtesy to make sure that we are subjecting ourselves to a frontier. But not the way that, oh, we should just see, oh, he's now back. Nobody's interested. Right now, they're just thinking about, oh, this kind of the boy is going to be coming back. Oh, they're going to be talking about it. We are not interested with that one. So I see the rain is now coming in. And we're having the bricks formulation onto this kind of the panel. And much of the people are going to be talking about, oh, are the bricks stopping here? No. Even right now here, there's an industry to make sure that the bricks are coming on. And to the real fact, right now here, we're going to be making sure that we are enclosing it, not to have much of the rain raining on it and to this kind of the area here. So let me help you here. Yeah, guys, it's just raining here. It's just at noon time here, but it's gonna be raining. So we have to make sure that we are protecting the bricks because they are still wet right now here, so they can just have not much of the spoilage here. So they can just have everything just getting forward very, very fantastic here. So I appreciate much of the people are locked in and watching the video every time. And that is what we need, like the rainfall right now here. Much of the people talk about, oh, Gintu, the phone gonna be like a waterproof here. There's no problem. So as wow. So guys, this is the storage here, and the storage is working so perfectly here to match our own things that we're ever doing here. So what I can just promise much of the people is we are still existing, and which was not the perfect way much of the people ever intended to have or to see us moving forward with, and which is now demoralizing them and talking about, oh, whenever I'm going to be coming to the village, I'm going to be dismantling, I'm going to be doing much of the terrible things to this kind of the people. But nobody's in a fear, because already I was being told that, oh, Gintu, make sure that they are going to be coming for you at this kind of the postcoms and the OSCOMs of the day. We have to understand about them. But we are not intimidated with this kind of the accusations which are not even impromptu. But the good thing is, much of the people think about, oh, you're going to be having a lot of money, oh, you're going to be having this. But the relationship the relation that we're gonna be having to much of the people here, it's gonna be in a different way. So as I just impromptu and talked about, this is how we're gonna be getting forward. Much of the people, they have to come forward and talk about this is the reality. This is how it's gonna be coming. But Gindu is now getting out of this kind of the crazy guys. So as I can just make sure that we are spotting to our own ways of making sure that everything gonna be getting forward. Whenever I talk about we are getting out of this kind of the postcom, I do mean that we're gonna be venturing into something that will be encouraging and giving them a very hectic day and a sleepless night, because they're gonna be talking about, oh, it is this way, it is that way. But to the real effect of the time, we're going to be having our venturing into something which is very awesome, that we are preparing for us to venture into, to make sure that everything going to be coming to you live, which is a one-on-one. So we are ongoing with making sure that the bricks formulation is getting on and on and on. And perfect. The rain has a little bit stopped here. So I have somebody called Faida. Mr. Faida. You are fine? Yes. Everything is good? We have Mr. Faida here. And you look so characteristically very awesome here. So, Mr. Faida, how are you?
I'm fine.
Everything is good? And it has been a long way and a long time since we met with the Faida, because you are working for Mogesi there. Yes. And I saw you had some 2-3 challenges of the bricks there and here and there because of the rawness of the bricks. Yes. And they have formulated it. You can greet the people here. You understand English. Yes. Greet them.
How are you? I'm fine. I'm working for Gintu. Gintu is helping me with something small I'm putting in the pocket.
The pocket, yeah, man.
Yes, even the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are the children right now?
The children, they are good. Until
our ladies, you are the man of ladies.
Yes, I'm good. And they are going to school. But last time you helped me money, they go to school, and now they are going to school again, but they are going to send the money.
They have been sent money back home again.
Yes.
For which term?
For
second term, third term?
Second term.
For the second term.
Yes.
Oh. Yes. So that's why you are working, so you can just have something small, eh?
Yes.
Exactly. Guys, I do offer much of...
remember me.
Yeah.
You remember me.
Whom do you want you to remember?
You.
Who? Me or them?
Them.
Who are watching?
Yes.
How do you want them to remember you?
You remember me with something I put, take the children to school.
But what about you are working for me?
Yes.
And I can take care of you.
Yes. I'm trying to...
So I know right now, because I'm a person who can just sort much of the issues out with an immediate effect here. Yes. So the only money that I have here is like $20, not even $20. Okay. This is how much?
1,000.
1,000. Yeah. So it means that me, I'm always paying you. That's why I told you that come for work. Yes. The more you do the work, the more I will ever encourage you. Yes. Whenever somebody can talk about, okay, Gintu, that kind of a man is a very humble person. Yes. How much is the school fee you're talking about?
The school fees, I'm having 4 children.
4 children?
Yes. Another one is the junior school.
Junior school?
Yes.
So how much?
Junior school, I'm paying the 4,000.
4,000.
Yes.
And the other 3 ladies?
One is 3,000. Another one is 2,000.
Per term or per year?
Per term.
Per term?
Yes.
Are they in private or that is a public?
Public.
Public school?
Yes.
Or because of the CBC?
Yes, CBC.
Oh, guys, we have a new curriculum, Vita, which is now performed in Kenya. It's a new curriculum that right now we have grade 9, not Form 1. Yes. And they are still in junior. If it could be in other curriculum, it could be an 844. It could be the Form 1 right now in high school. Yes. But right now they are still in primary to make sure that they're going to be having a junior primary school. Yes. So to the real fact is, that's why I told you that we're going to be having a session. Yes. Whenever you come and do the job here, I'm going to be giving you something. And we had stopped for a while. Right now it's a rainy season. It's going to be awkward a little bit, but you can just try to make it happen. So the good thing is you keep on working. We're gonna be making sure I'm sorting you out. Whenever I'm good in terms of pocket, right now I can just tell you that the pocket demand is no longer the way it is, because I'm running with the G Castle there. I'm having some cement, I'm having some of the food here to there, and you understand, you know. And whenever the thing gonna be coming, gonna be talking about, I can just give you even an advance, so you can just go and get your children to school whenever they're gonna be thrown out. But the way you are just on, because guys, even I've just paid him because just formulating the bricks, it's 2 shillings if it's dry, and you take it back, so it's 2 shillings. So it's gonna be, if you get 500 bricks. Right now, how many have you just formulated here?
Going to 1,000.
No, these ones.
Yes.
Yeah, level 2.
Well, this is for today. For today, you know, I come late.
Late.
Yes, it's 4. I'm going 5.
You are going 500.
Yes.
So it means that now you have got that 1,000.
Yes.
So whenever you can just take them in, now we're going to be talking about, you're going to be doing what? We're going to be paying you the other money for getting them in. But I'll be giving you in advance to make sure that we're just taking the children. That's why I told you that you just come. You can just find that if not breaking here, we're going to be having another job for you to do.
Yes.
Keep it working, man. Make it happen, because this is the struggles of the village to make sure that everything is good. And I like about whatever they're always doing, they don't have that one, because I can just go to Gintu. Yeah, thank you very much, bro. And make sure that everything is just getting to the brim point here. So I like much of the people always making sure that we're ever getting to the brim point here, and we are having everything running simultaneously with the way we shall have this kind of the work continuing every time, every day, every way that we're going to be making sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one. So I'm going to be getting back to the G Castle there, so they can just have 2-3 things for us to discuss and make sure that we are just running forward. That is the hospitality that we have right now, and it's because of some of the shenanigans. Like right now, guys, it's gonna be raining, so if it could be a GoPro, I could be shooting the video whenever gonna be raining. Right now, whenever I hear the rain, I'm gonna be rushing to the house here, so that's kind of the shenanigans that I'm gonna be talking about. Gonna be coming to an end once upon a time, but much of the things are still ongoing. Let me get a little bit around so I can just show you what's really popping out, and every time is getting on. But the way the rain is coming, the maize fields are just working properly. These are the maize that I was ever showing you whenever we were formulating and planting them. So, wow. So we have collected much of the firewood, guys. We have collected much of the firewood to make sure that the bricks are going to be burnt. Very fantastic, and no much of regret about the firewood. We have so many firewood just bulked here to make sure that we are burning the bricks so completely. So here right now I'm going to be updating you about what's really popping in terms of the sun is now coming to a finish line here, because we are this is the field that was having much of it, but right now we are clearing this kind of a field here. So when we come to the maram now, I have so much maram here. And everything is so fantastic. So the hole here, it has reached to where it was meant to reach. Look at it here. It's now like how many feet there? They're going to be 10 feet to 12 feet there. And everything is so fantastic. Here we go from this kind of the fantastic point. So this kind of the water, talk about the water from the G Castle. It's going to be raining a little bit, but we're going to be having very clean water, and it's just directed where it can just move, so they cannot wet much the house in terms of the foundation and to this kind of the particular time here. And everything's so fantastic. The dogs, they're here relaxed and cherishing to make sure that everything is getting on very, very good. So I had some of the cement. There's somebody who supported me. Thank you very much. Somebody who supported Gintu with much of the cement, and I always talk about thank you very much for us getting forward. He sent me talking about Gintu democratized with much of the cement here. We have the cement there, and you can just check on them. They're just been brought here some 30 minutes ago, and we are making the movement very, very fantastic by now. And that is the movement we are just ever making to make sure that everything is so fantastic. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Guys, after the lunch here, the rain is now raining here, and it's the good fact is we are having the work, talk about the work at the G Castle right now, it's done inside the house. if it could not be already having this kind of the roofing, we could be now struggling to talk about, oh, where are we just rushing to, what are we going to be doing right now here, and everything's so fantastic. It's after lunch and everybody is back to the duty to make sure that we are performing our duty very fantastic. I know much of the people talk about, oh, Gintu, why is that kind of an area leaking there? That kind of an area, whenever they just build this kind of a small area that is enclosing the pipe to the upper section, they had not make sure that they had not formulated the inside where now that kind of the water will just be penetrating. So it's just the pipe went and it was not put at the upper section. So as it could just drain that kind of water to get through the pipe. So it was just whenever water could just be coming, it could just go to the surrounding of the pipe, then comes down. So that's why you saw much of that kind of a wall is a little bit affected with much of the wetness there. But the real fact is that right now everything is just placed very equal. Right now we're going to be having, that's why even right now here you can just see we have so many water that's just dropping to this kind of the section, because we have much of the pipings here that direct water out of the G castle from the top side coming down. So the piping is already working, and what I can just talk about is we're going to be having also the other piping of water. So that every pipe should just go to the back side, so they can just wait for the construction of the water tank, underground water tank, and also the construction of the tower for us to have that kind of the water tanks area to be placed onto that kind of the fantastic way. So that's the movement, and we are moving very characteristically good. I like about everyone who has been supporting and talking about Ogintu, you have to get forward. Everyone has composed herself or himself talking about Ogintu. The G Castle is the project, and that's I'm just hearing much of the echo. I don't know why, and it's just an open area. You can just hear about it. Exactly, and we are just moving forward. That is the fantastic way of just having a very good area here. So as I'm just looking right now, the area is looking so fantastic. Even the road, guys, it's just formulated. The road is now being climbed every day, every time, so as you can just have a very strong road, and we are just formulating it to have an area which is revitalized. And I was hearing much of the things, much about the people are going to be talking. I'm going to be coming out telling you what's going to be coming to this kind of section. Why is it like a dug into this kind of an area? It's going to be a fish pond, which is an ornamental. I want to teach much of the people how to fish, not how you should get money from other people and get some knowledge from other people, which is not payable. So I want to show much of the people how we're going to be making sure that this kind of a sector is dealt with compassionately to have much of the ornamental fish being reared here in a very calfragistic way and a very decent way that is crystal clear water. And I'll be just getting much of the people to understand that this is going to be an attachment to much of the people. That is the fantastic mode. We're going to be getting forward to this kind of the brim point, and we are getting forward. We are calfragistically good, because whenever God has given you the health, we have to get forward. So right now, much of the shenanigans are no longer more coming out from the G here, and what we want is to make sure that we are moving calfragistically good. I'm scared because much of the people right now talking about, oh, get into this, get into that, get into those, get into bam, 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 get into get into G, what, D, get into G, what, guan, oh, da 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 da. Exactly. Everything is so fantastic. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Let's vibe. Let's make it happen. This is coming to you live one-on-one the end of this kind of the video. Keep enjoying, keep subscribing, liking, and sharing, as well as you can just move together as a team. Coming soon, soon after soon. Coming to you live.